Hello, it is Monday, our favorite day of the week, right? So, what do we have to talk about today? A quote that was posted by a friend of mine. Shout out to Ricky. A quote that was posted by a friend of mine, and it really just hit home. And I felt like I was having continued conversations about this with other people too. And if you didn't see it, it's sometimes the right thing to do is the hardest thing to do. And I'm not really sure if I should pull in the cards thing yet because I'm going to start switching some things up. Of course, I'm talking to my creative people in the background. Y'all know how hard it is to hold your integrity, your beliefs, and what you value. When it comes to creating art, when it comes to displaying art or selling art. But right now, I just want to talk to everybody right now because, if this pertains to you, great. If it doesn't, so be it. But, let's start with cursing, right? Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to be yourself. Truthfully, in honesty. And that is the right thing to do because you don't want to walk around living a lie. You don't want to walk around putting masks on. And honestly, we all have done that from time to time. Sometimes the hardest thing is to be vulnerable, to be honest with yourself, as well as to be honest with other people, and that's the right thing to do. What else can be the right thing to do? Maybe not saying what you feel at the right moment. That can be hard to do, especially if you feel so passionate about communicating and being understood. But that can be the hardest thing to do. Sometimes walking away may be the hardest thing for you to do because you're just used to fighting and standing your ground. You got to know when to fall back and when to keep pushing, when to keep fighting. And you have to realize what your right is. What is the best thing? What is the correct thing for you to do personally? Not for Tom, Dick, and Harry to do. For what you need to do for yourself. And when I say be honest with yourself, I'm saying look at every nook and cranny and crevices about you. Being able to look and be honest with your flaws, and seeing the beauty in your flaws. Like, hey, my ponytail is not perfect, okay? Like, being able to see those flaws, and if you can't see the beauty, be comfortable with those flaws at least, and just own up to it. Like, this is who I am. I'll try to move forward, but taking that responsibility to know these flaws aren't helping you in moving forward, that's the beauty of the change and figuring out what the right thing to do for yourself and overcoming that hardship. All things that we feel that are bad about ourselves, right? Kind of reverts back to feeling worthy of being good and having good things happen to you. You can be told that you are all these negative things, right? For a long time, just keep getting beat up all the time about it. All the time. And sometimes something good actually happens, right? And then you're sitting there thinking, is this real? Because I thought I was bad. I thought I was unlucky. Nothing happens to me. And then sometimes that right thing, by going towards that good thing, is the best thing for you, but the hardest thing for you because you've been told all your life so many times that you're this, and that, you started to believe that you weren't good enough to receive certain things. Let's talk about that. It's just crazy how our belief system is what we hold on to because This is what our norm is. And our norm on a grand scale is told that a lot of things are good and a lot of other things times 10 are bad. And it's just so twisted and a lot of times it's about feelings too, because we don't recognize these feelings that we have. And your heart could be telling you one thing, but your mind could be telling you something else. And your mind can be so constricted, so caged in about a certain belief or belief system that you have that you don't really understand the truth. You don't even want to look at the key, let alone unlock it, because it's like, it's scary. And it's the hardest thing for you to do. Again, you're told certain things are right, but at the same time, it's like being bad is good and being good is bad. So then it's like, well, what is it? Sometimes the right thing to do is the hardest thing to do, because a lot of times we're misguided in doing the right thing. We're misguided in doing what feels right, opposed to what other people say is right for you. And that's when our beliefs get twisted. And a lot of times we're just caged in. And we don't really know how to unlock, how to get out of the cage we built around ourselves. So honesty. I think I am going to share this little card. Y'all know how I feel about cards. And I just want to say I've finally made these quote cards that I wanted to do for a long time. And I've been struggling with some shit that I've been believing that, isn't the right thing to do, isn't the best thing for me, but blah, da, 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 da. The best thing for me that I'll say, the best thing for me is making me feel good. Making me feel good about myself, making me feel valued, making me feel worthy, making me feel happy. And knowing how to do all of that on my own instead of looking for another person to do that for me. Looking for my parents, looking for my family, looking for a loved one to do that for me. And that is the hardest thing. That is the hardest thing to do. And that's why that quote touched me so much. Because it's the hardest thing to do right by you when you're always doing right by other people. You know? So I just want to leave that right there. Oh yeah. Honesty. That card pulled out. Right? And I'm just leave this right there. When I am honest with myself, I feel the security and the support of my soul, in my mind, and in my heart. And y'all know, if y'all haven't been watching me, I talk about this whole thing about mind, heart, and soul, because we tend to forget about that. And, people can repeat it all the time and be like, what are you talking about? Or whatever. People always want to think you crazy when they don't understand you. But sometimes the bravest person has to be the craziest person to go through the hardship, the pain, and the ridicule to be themselves. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to question you guys and say, what do you value that you think others don't? Because honestly, once you really look at it and sit down with yourself and be honest with yourself, sometimes you're like, I was believing this? What? Those people, right? Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get all in my emotions on camera. But at the same time, this helps me heal as well as dishing it out. This is a give and take thing. And People tend to forget and realize that. So, with all that being said, have a happy Monday. I hope this message gets to you, or is heard to the ones that need this the most. And most definitely, what else was I about to say? Oh yeah, have a happy day, happy Monday, and have a great rest of the week. Look out for more, and look out for them new cards that I'm about to be showing y'all. I finally got a project that I wanted to do that took me over a year. Let's just leave that right there. Peace.